What if I told you that everything you desire, wealth, love, happiness, success, is being pushed away from you right now? Not because you aren't worthy, not because you aren't worthy, not because you aren't trying hard enough, but because of invisible forces that are lowering your vibration without you even realizing it. Everything in this universe is energy. Your thoughts, your emotions, even the chair you're sitting on right now, it's all vibrating at a frequency. And your life, it's a direct reflection of the frequency you hold. But here's the secret nobody talks about. Most people have no idea that they are destroying their own energy field every single day. They are unknowingly tuned into frequencies of fear, scarcity, and limitation. And the worst part, they think it's normal. Today, we're exposing the 7 silent killers of high vibration, the hidden forces that are keeping you stuck in a reality you never chose. And I guarantee you, 99.9% of people have no idea that these things are even affecting them. The human mind is a powerful tool, but it is also the greatest prison. And the first thing that destroys your vibration isn't something external, it's something internal. It's the one thing that keeps people trapped in cycles of suffering for their entire lives. It's unconscious thought loops. Most people don't think, they repeat. Every day they wake up and replay the same thoughts, the same emotions, the same worries. And what they don't realize is that thoughts are not passive. They are commands. Every thought sends a signal to the universe saying, "This is what I focus on. This is what I attract." Have you ever noticed how, when you're stressed about money, suddenly more unexpected expenses appear? Or when you're feeling down, everything seems to go wrong? That's not a coincidence. That's frequency. And most people are completely unaware that their own mind is working against them. But it gets worse. Because these thought loops don't just come from you. They come from the collective consciousness. What does that mean? It means that every single person around you is emitting energy. And if you're not careful, you're absorbing their fears, their doubts, their limitations without even realizing it. Look around. How many people do you know who are truly happy? Who are truly free? Most are stuck in survival mode, living the same year over and over, calling it a life. And if you're constantly surrounded by this energy, it becomes your normal. So here's the real question: are your thoughts truly your own? Or have you been programmed by the energies around you?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
Now let's talk about the second silent killer of high vibration: emotional residue. Every emotion you feel leaves an imprint on your energetic field. And most people are carrying years of unprocessed emotions: anger from childhood, heartbreak from years ago, disappointments that never fully healed. These emotions don't just disappear. They linger in your energy body, weighing you down, lowering your frequency. And here's the terrifying part: these trapped emotions don't just affect your mood, they shape your reality. If you've ever wondered why certain patterns keep repeating in your life, why you keep attracting the same toxic relationships, the same financial struggles, it's because your energy hasn't changed. Energy doesn't lie. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. Which brings us to the third and most underestimated vibration destroyer of all your physical environment. Every object, every space, every sound holds a frequency. And the place you spend most of your time, it is programming your energy. Think about your room, your workspace, your home. Is it a place of peace, or is it cluttered with chaotic energy? Are you surrounded by beauty or by distractions? What about the music you listen to, the shows you watch, the conversations you engage in? Most people are constantly feeding their subconscious with low vibrational noise news that keeps them in fear, entertainment that normalizes pain, social media that fuels comparison, and then they wonder why they feel blocked. If you want to raise your vibration, you must become ruthless about what you allow into your energy field. Because the truth is, your environment is either feeding your power or draining it. If you truly want to shift your reality, you have to start by cutting out everything that lowers your frequency, because the moment you do, the shift begins instantly. Now, let's go deeper, because the next 4 vibration destroyers are even more insidious, and most people never even notice them. You ready? The 4th thing that silently destroys your vibration is hidden energetic contracts. These are not physical agreements, but unspoken, unconscious commitments that keep you tied to low-frequency patterns. Every time you tolerate toxic relationships, every time you engage in energy-draining conversations, every time you stay in environments that no longer serve you, you are renewing an invisible contract with low vibration. Most people don't even realize they are doing this because they think suffering is normal. They think loyalty means staying in places that destroy them. They think they have no choice. But here's the truth: every single thing in your life is there because, at some level, you have agreed to it. And the moment you stop agreeing, the moment you decide that certain energies are no longer welcome in your space, reality begins to shift. But this is where most people fail. They try to change their lives while still maintaining connections to the very things that are draining them. They try to raise their vibration while still entertaining people who live in fear, doubt, and negativity. And then they wonder why nothing changes. The real question is, what are you still saying yes to that is keeping you stuck? The 5th vibration killer is so common that most don't even question it: the energy of lack. This is the silent force that keeps people in cycles of scarcity, making them feel like no matter how much they have, it's never enough. It shows up in the way people talk about money, in the way they feel about opportunities, in the way they react when others succeed. Lack is not just about not having, it's about believing that there is never enough. And this belief runs deep. It's programmed into society, into media, into culture. People are taught to compete, to hoard, to fear losing what they have. And without realizing it, they stay trapped in the exact frequency that repels abundance. But abundance is not about having more, it's about operating from a state of enoughness. The people who attract wealth, love, and success effortlessly are not the ones who chase it the hardest. They are the ones who already feel abundant before they even receive it. They don't beg. They don't doubt. They don't operate from desperation. They radiate the energy of already having, and because of that, the universe mirrors it back. The shift is simple, but most people never make it because they are addicted to the feeling of lack. They don't even realize that their entire energy field is broadcasting scarcity. The thoughts they think, the words they speak, the way they react to other people's success, it all tells the universe one thing: I don't have enough. And the universe simply responds, okay. Now let's talk about the 6th and most underestimated vibration destroyer: neglected energy debt. Just like financial debt, there is an energetic debt that builds up over time. Every broken promise to yourself, every project you start but never finish, every time you say you'll do something and don't follow through, it all creates a backlog of unfulfilled energy. And this energy weighs you down more than you realize. It's why some people always feel stuck, why they can never seem to move forward no matter how hard they try. They are drowning in unfinished energy. Every action holds an energetic signature, and when you leave things incomplete, that energy lingers. Think about it. How many things have you told yourself you would do but never did? How many times have you set an intention and then abandoned it halfway? How many times have you ignored the voice inside you telling you to take action? Every single one of those moments leaves an imprint in your field, and over time, it creates resistance. This is why some people feel like no matter how much effort they put in, nothing moves. Because their energy is tangled in a web of broken agreements with themselves. The way to clear this is simple but powerful. Start following through. Start keeping your word. Start finishing the things you started. Every time you complete something, you free up energy. And the more energy you free, the lighter you become. The more flow you create, the more magnetic you get. Most people never realize that their biggest block is not something external, it's the weight of everything they've left undone. Now we've covered 6 vibration destroyers, but the last one is the most dangerous of all. It's the one that keeps people trapped in cycles of pain, the one that makes people sabotage their own success, the one that will continue to haunt you unless you break free from it completely. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Ready? The 7th and most dangerous vibration destroyer is identity attachment. This is the invisible force that keeps people stuck in the same patterns no matter how much work they do, no matter how many books they read, no matter how many times they try to change their lives. It is the reason why some people always struggle, why they always attract the same problems, why they can never seem to break free. Because at their core, they are still identifying as the version of themselves who struggles. They are still carrying the energy of the past. They are still emotionally attached to their old story. And identity is the strongest force in the universe. You will never rise above the frequency of the person you believe yourself to be. This is why people sabotage their own success, because deep down, they don't feel like the person who deserves it. They don't believe they are the one who wins. They still see themselves as the one who struggles, the one who gets overlooked, the one who never quite makes it. And reality is simply a mirror of that identity. The hardest thing to do is to let go of the version of yourself that you have known for so long, but until you do, nothing will change. Because no matter how much external effort you put in, if your core vibration is still tied to an old identity, the universe will continue to give you experiences that match it. This is why people get stuck in cycles. They try new things, but they carry the same energy. They start new habits, but they still feel like the person who fails. They try to attract love, but they still see themselves as someone who is unworthy. And this is where most people miss the truth about manifestation. It's not about forcing reality to change. It's about stepping into the energy of the version of you who already has it. The version of you who is already successful, already abundant, already loved. And here's the part most don't realize: that version of you already exists. Right now, in this moment, there are infinite versions of you existing in different frequencies. The only thing keeping you from stepping into the timeline where everything flows effortlessly is your attachment to the current version of yourself. The moment you drop that attachment, the moment you stop identifying as the struggling version of you, the shift happens instantly. Because reality does not take time to change, only you take time to accept the shift. And this brings us to the final truth: you are the only thing standing between you and the life you desire. It was never external circumstances. It was never luck. It was never the world holding you back. It was always the vibration you were holding. The universe is not testing you. It is not making you prove yourself. It is simply reflecting what you emit. And the moment you change your energy, reality has no choice but to change with you. The only question is, Will you finally let go of the version of yourself that keeps you stuck? Or will you keep repeating the same cycles, waiting for external proof before you allow yourself to believe? Because the truth is, the moment you decide, the moment you truly shift your identity, everything else will follow. No effort, no struggle, just alignment. This is not theory. This is not wishful thinking. This is how energy works. And once you see it, you can never go back. And now comes the part most people never reach, the part where everything changes if you let it. Because knowing these 7 things is not enough. Awareness means nothing without action. The real question is, will you actually do something with this? Or will you nod, agree, feel inspired for a moment, and then return to the same patterns that have kept you trapped? This is the moment where most people fail, not because they can't change, but because they are still addicted to the comfort of the familiar. The mind will fight to keep you in the known, even if the known is suffering. It will whisper excuses, tell you that you need more time, that you're not ready, that maybe next week, next month, next year. But that's the trap. That's how people waste decades. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is no waiting for alignment. Alignment happens the moment you decide, the moment you stop negotiating with your old self, the moment you stop just wanting change and start being change. This is where reality bends. But most people will never experience this because they are still looking for external proof before they allow themselves to believe. They are still waiting for their circumstances to shift before they give themselves permission to feel different. And that's why they stay stuck. Because energy does not follow time, energy follows decision. The moment you embody the energy of the version of you who already has what you desire, reality has no choice but to rearrange itself. This is not magic. This is not wishful thinking. This is the most fundamental law of this universe. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. And most people never change because they are still walking through life carrying the frequency of their past, still identifying as the struggling version of themselves, still emotionally attached to their limitations. They hold on to their old patterns like a safety net, not realizing that the very act of holding on is what keeps them from rising. Everything you want is already here. The only thing standing between you and it is the version of you that refuses to let go of the struggle. So the only real question left is this: will you keep repeating the same cycles, or will you finally step into the version of yourself who no longer tolerates anything less than the vibration of who you are meant to be? Because the ones who shift don't do it gradually. They don't wait for proof. They don't hesitate. They decide. They embody. They become. And once they do, reality moves instantly. Not in weeks, not in months, not in years, instantly. The only thing delaying your manifestation is the time you take to accept that you were already that person all along. So now it's up to you. Will you keep waiting, or will you finally step into it? Because the moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop searching, the moment you stop trying and start being, everything shifts. This is the final truth, the one most people never accept. You were never blocked. You were never stuck. The universe was never holding anything back from you. It was always you. And the moment you stop playing the game of waiting, everything that was already yours will finally catch up to you. And this is where most people hesitate. They hear the truth, they feel the shift, but then their mind pulls them back to the familiar. It whispers doubts, reminds them of past failures, convinces them they need more time. But time is the greatest illusion. Change does not take time, resistance takes time. The shift happens the moment you drop the resistance, the moment you stop arguing for your limitations, the moment you stop waiting for proof. The ones who shift the fastest are not the ones who have it easy, not the ones who were born lucky, not the ones who never faced challenges. They are the ones who stopped identifying with struggle. They are the ones who refuse to keep telling the same story about why things are hard, why they are stuck, why it's not working. They did not wait for their circumstances to change, they changed, and their circumstances followed. Most people wait for the universe to give them a sign before they shift, but the universe is only ever mirroring what they already believe. The moment you decide that you are that version of yourself, the moment you embody that energy fully, everything around you has no choice but to reorganize itself to match. But this is where most people get caught in the loop. They shift for a moment, they feel the energy rise, and then they check their reality for confirmation. They look at their bank account, their relationships, their external world, and the moment they don't see instant proof, they slip back into doubt. They lower their frequency to match what they see, instead of holding their frequency until reality catches up. But this is how the universe works. It does not respond to wishful thinking. It responds to certainty. It does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. And when you truly are that version of yourself, you no longer need proof. You no longer need validation. You no longer check if it's working, because you know. And when you reach that level of knowing, that level of unshakable energy, reality bends for you. Because reality is never the cause, it is the effect. And most people never figure this out because they are still reacting to life instead of creating it. They are still waiting for something external to give them permission to believe. But the ones who shift understand that belief comes first and proof comes second. So now the only thing left is choice. You can keep waiting for signs, keep searching for more answers, keep delaying the shift by convincing yourself you need more time. Or you can decide that time is irrelevant because the version of you who already has it does not wait. The version of you who already has it is not waiting for proof, is not questioning, is not doubting. That version of you is already certain. And the only reason you are not living in that reality yet is because you have not fully stepped into that certainty. The moment you do, everything responds. The money, the opportunities, the people, the synchronicities, they are not outside of you. They are waiting for you to catch up. And the only thing that separates you from them is the choice to stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop questioning whether it's possible. The only thing that ever delayed the manifestation was the time it took for you to decide that it was already yours.